Hello, everybody. Welcome to Therapy Dog Talk. My name is Sherry. My dogs' names are Sunny and Riley. And each week we talk with different teams around the world about the impact that they're making in their area. If you're just getting started or not sure where to get started, we have a free guide that you can find at freeguide.therapydogtalk.com. And we also have a community you can join at community.therapydogtalk.com. Today, we're going to be talking with Heather about her dogs, Sailor and Harbor. So I'm really looking forward to hearing about their experiences. Hi, Heather.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Who do we have there?
This is Sailor.
Hi, Sailor. Very nice. Well, Heather, for those who aren't familiar with you, would you like to introduce us to yourself and to your pups?
So my name's Heather. I'm from Long Island. I have two labs. They're a brother and sister from same litter. They're about 3 years old. We got Sailor as a baby, and then we adopted Harbor when she was like a year and a half old. She was born deaf. They had kept her for breeding, realized she was deaf, and then they were like, we can't breed her. So we just adopted her, and she's the best dog.
I love that. I love that very much. And are they both therapy dogs?
Yeah, they're both therapy dogs. So Sailor got certified first, and then we just did Harbor a few months after.
Okay, very cool. And who are you certified through?
Love on a Leash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Do they have a pretty big community there?
We do. We have a decent group for the Long Island chapter. Nice dogs that go through there.
Yeah, I know the San Diego chapter is pretty tight, but I wasn't familiar with chapters in other areas, so I wasn't sure what it was like for y'all.
Yeah, no, we have a pretty decent group going on. Right.
Heather, how did you first find out about the role of therapy dogs?
So I work in an animal hospital, and there's this lovely lady, Jody, that I met her husky. His name was Frankie, and he was the sweetest dog, and he was a therapy dog. So her and I just got to talking and became good friends through that. She's the one who inspired me to do it. She does a lot of hospitals and all over the place. So that was a few years ago. And then once I got the labs is when I decided to do it with them.
Okay. Were you already thinking that you wanted to have a therapy dog before you adopted them?
Yeah. So my other dog is a shepherd mix. She loves people, but she's not good with other dogs.
Okay.
So we decided to go with a Labrador.
Okay. All right. Very cool. And what were you looking for then when you were looking for a dog, knowing that you wanted to do therapy dog work?
I just had a sweet but confident dog. So with Sailor, we'd gotten him from the litter. We sort of had the plan to do Duck also with my husband, but he's just such a mellow dog. He's not like your crazy lab that has to run around all the time. He's just a sweet boy. So we were going to try to do the best of both worlds with him, but he turned out to just be a therapy dog instead.
I love when they let us know what their preferences are. It just makes life so much easier. So what about Sailor and Harbor led you to think that they would be a good fit for therapy work?
Sailor, he has never met a person he doesn't like. So everybody in the world is Sailor's best friend. He honestly does best in elementary schools. So he really likes like the high energy, people like oohing and eyeing over him. And then Harbor is just, she's the world's sweetest dog. She wants belly rubs all day long. She doesn't care about other dogs, and all she wants is to be pet. So when we first got her, she was a bit crazy because she was a kennel dog. And then after living with us for about a month, she just mellowed right out, and all she wants is love.
Oh, I love that. Do they volunteer in different places?
Yeah, so they do some of the same visits, but we do a hospital visit every single Tuesday night, which is mostly Sailor that goes because Harbor is a bit lazier of a dog. So 3 hours in the hospital is too much for her. She does best in nursing homes, schools that they regularly go to. And then we do a few special needs schools and like adult day programs for special needs. So they each have their regular visits that they go on.
That's great. Do they get jealous when you leave one behind?
They used to. Now they know what day it is. They know where we're going that day.
Okay. That's really great. Have you run into any unique challenges or opportunities with Harbor being deaf?
Initially, the obedience training was hard. So I've always had dogs that could hear, and not that they need to be able to hear, but it was easier. You could tell them to do things. With Harbor, if she's not looking at you, she doesn't know what you're asking for. But training for therapy was easier for her because she doesn't hear the distraction. So once I have her focused on me, it's just me and her then.
Yeah, that's great. What do you enjoy about the therapy dog work?
I enjoy the connections we make with people. So a lot of times, like the hospitals, especially, we see patients week after week. So it's nice when we see them start to do better and we get to know their families. We know all the nursing staff. So I like the connections we make. And like this one school we go to, a lot of the kids there have never had dogs before. So how to interact with the dog, knowing that these are safe dogs, you can pet these dogs. I like seeing that stuff too.
Someone needs your attention there, it sounds like.
Happy raising my sister's dog right now. So I have.
Oh, so cute. What's the pup's name?
Her name is Mako.
That's very cute. Mako, like Mako Sharp?
Yes. My sister's a biologist.
Okay. It's a very appropriate name for a puppy anyway. So Molly Rose says she's a mini Molly.
She is, honestly.
Very cute.
I love.
What's not to love? She's adorable. I just heard her trying to say hi. So very cute. Is there a story that stands out to you that you can share from your experiences that's just a really good example of why you enjoy doing this work?
My favorite story is we got this patient in neuro ICU. First time that we met him, he was comatose, basically. He wasn't awake. We met his family. Sailor sat down with him. They let Sailor lick his hand. So week by week, we kept going and going. And one week we walk in there and, we have the therapy dog card. So I'd given them the card. And we walk in and the mom was like, do you know who that is that's coming in right now? It's her son. And he was like, Sailor. And my eyes started to tear up because he hadn't been awake. And then now he's awake and he's sitting up and he started to talk. And then we've seen him more and more. And his family's going to get him a dog one day. So before he left the hospital, we had gotten him a mini Sailor, a little stuffed animal. But we saw them for like 3 or 4 months straight. And it was nice to see him from not being awake, remembering Sailor's name and being able to talk to us.
Very cool. I love when teams have like the little mini dogs too. It's so cute. There's a few of them behind me. I've got Boone and Bubbles here, and I can't remember if that's Bark or Deep behind me there. They're brothers, so I don't know which one that is. Did anything surprise you along your training journey with them?
What surprised me is how many things are on the floor in a hospital. So I have this vision in my head of hospitals are all completely sterile. And once you walk through with a Labrador, you see how many like little pieces of plastic and papers and whatnot are on the floor. And it's, of course, hard for a lab to not put everything in their mouth. So that was one of the hardest parts of their training.
Yeah, I bet. I've heard many times that a strong leave it is one of the most important can teach a therapy dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. That's awesome. Heather, is there any advice you have for someone who's interested in becoming a therapy dog team?
I would say the biggest piece of advice is not letting your dog ever jump as a puppy. So having that very strong when they're little, if this is something you plan on doing, not letting people reward them for jumping up because it's such a hard thing, especially for retrievers. They want to jump up, get everyone's attention. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Sailor, he wasn't a huge jumper, but he definitely did jump up on people. That I wish, like, when he was younger, I did more of that, like not letting him say hi to anybody like that.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Like what they become kind of thing. So
yeah. And like you get so excited when you come home from work and they greet you and they're jumping and then you try to break that.
Yeah, that's something we've definitely had to work on here with calm greetings and everything when we come home. So do you find that there's anything really helpful for you to take with when you go on a visit?
So we do bring, pretty high value treats with us on most of our visits, just because they're still dogs and they still need that reward sometimes, especially in like stressful situations like the schools. There's lots of kids yelling. Sometimes they need the reminder of that. So I would say like a high value treat, just throw like 1 or 2 in your pocket just to be able to have with you.
Yeah, that's great. What is their favorite go-to high value treat?
Anything. They're lab, so anything.
Classic Labrador there. Levi had a question. They wanted to know, I guess this is a little bit more specific to San Diego, but how would you go about getting in touch with Love on a Leash?
Love on a Leash, there is the national website. So you can go on there and search where you live, and that will be able to help guide you to find a chapter.
Okay. Yeah. They were asking about San Diego specifically. So if anyone's listening to this, possibly reach out to them. I know Levi too. We had Sarah and Coco on here and a couple other teams from the Love on a Leash San Diego chapter. So you can reach out to them too.
Yeah. I think they might also have an Instagram page.
They do. I think it's Love on a Leash San.
Yeah.
San.
Yep. So I would even reach out to them on there because I'm sure it's like the president or someone running that page.
Yeah, they're pretty active.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Are there any therapy dog classes in your area, or how did you go about training?
Yeah. So the lady who teaches our class, her name's Kristen. She used to be a nurse, then, retired from nursing, became a dog trainer, and therapy dog was something she's very passionate about. So she is certified. She's a CGC, AKC registered trainer. So she's the one who hosts all of the class. So we go to her basic obedience class. And then after that, we started to go to the therapy class through her.
Okay. Very cool. Is that something where once you became a therapy dog team, you were able to just maintain at home, or do you still go to classes repeatedly or on some sort of cadence to just kind of keep up their training around other dogs?
So with Sailor, I still go to class. Harbor doesn't care much about class. She's just a very stoic dog, but Sailor enjoys the class. It also helps that I start to get to know which new therapy teams are coming. So I sort of see the dog, see who they do best with, because the way Love on a Leash works is you go through classes, you get your control evaluation, and then you go on 10 supervised visits.
Right.
So I get to know the dogs, and I sort of pair up which one of my dogs is going to be better when I'm supervising somebody based on that dog's energy, because Sailor is a more fun dog. So like newer, younger, active dogs, I tend to bring Harbor with me.
Yeah.
It's less fun.
So you're scouting them out at class.
Yeah. And it helps set them up for success too. I don't want to bring Sailor with me and have him getting them all riled up because he's so much fun to play with. So I bring her and she's more calm, and then they focus more on what we're doing on the visit.
Yeah. How long have you been supervising visits?
For a few months now. So we got certified officially with Sailor a year ago last week, but he started his certified visits the November before that. So after we were on like 20 to 30 visits on our own, then we started to supervise some other people.
Okay. How's that experience been for you?
It's fun. It's cool to see people. Like one of the dogs we certified, she did her last visit today. I think she's on here. I just saw her, Luna. It's fun because her first visit, she was so excited, and her owner was a bit nervous. And I was like, she's fine. She's a sweet dog. And today she was on her last supervised visit, and she's grown up so much. She has such great control over her. So it's really fun to see the new teams, like how they progress too.
Yeah, definitely. Because you go on 10 hours of supervised visits for Love on a Leash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Luna said that Heather is the best supervisor.
We love her. Nicole.
Very nice. Very nice. Is there anything you wish you had known when you first started volunteering?
I wish I had known how attached I was going to get to this. Like, it sort of consumes a lot of my free time now because I just get so excited about it that I wish I would have known that I was going to love it this much, because then also maybe I would have started sooner. I didn't do Sailor until he was like a year and a half is when I started with him, but I maybe would have started his classes so that he could have gotten certified at a year old.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Is there anything that you found to be really helpful as like a conversation starter or anything like that when you're talking with the people that you visit?
Talking about dogs. Everybody wants to talk about their dogs. Everyone wants to show you a picture. They want to talk to you about their dog. They want to know about your dog. You hear stories and people are like, oh, I just lost mine. And then you ask them about that dog. So people will talk about their dogs forever.
That's very true. I feel like that's true even outside of therapy work.
Yeah.
Like I find that whenever I'm hanging out with other friends with dogs, we're just always talking about our dogs. Like the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes. Very cool. Well, Heather, is there anything else that you wanted to share while you're here?
No, nothing I could think of.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. It was nice to get to meet you and your pups and Mako.
Our honorary pup.
Yes, very much so. I love that. Awesome. All right. Well, have a great night and take care.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.